Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Adrienne Keyser and I'm your over 50s fashion diva. Here on my channel we talk about fashion of course, but also beauty, lifestyle, travel, and anything trending in social media on any of those topics. So if you want to stay relevant over 50, you've come to the right place. Happy Saturday evening, everyone. Happy birthday to Michael Kors. Yes, tonight we are going to be covering the history of Michael Kors, how the fashion house has evolved and is continuing to evolve. And I definitely have my thoughts and opinions on Michael Kors, which I will get into later on in the video. But excuse me, I did want to say that if you have been to any of my lives, you know it's a self-care night. Now, normally I would have a nice little bevy beverage, but because Prosecco Day is coming up, I didn't want to buy 2 bottles of Prosecco. So I decided tonight I'm just going to be drinking some sparkling water. And sadly, I'm not that big a fan of this water, but it's what I got tonight. And I'm also going to be doing some skincare, some hair care tonight as we're watching through the videos. Now, I will say the videos tonight are not very long, so we should be able to wrap up this video relatively quickly. What I will say is that if we do have some time left over at the end, I do have some additional videos that I can tack on there. There is, well, I can just show you. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen so that you can see what's on the watch later list. And annoyingly, I realized that I did not move the videos up the way I wanted them to be. Sorry. But it's not that big a deal. Oh, goodness, I forgot to mention, I should start off by saying that I have to apologize profusely for last week because I did not realize that the video that we were previewing um, had a copyright on it. So I got a copyright warning, not a strike, thank goodness. Um, Sadly, that is kind of what ended movie nights initially, is because there had been a one or two other times that I had gotten a warning that I couldn't use that particular video, and it's like right in the middle of the live stream and it goes down, and it's just upsetting to me because it's, something educational that I wanted to share, but you have to be careful with what videos you use. I'm pretty certain that tonight's videos are going to be okay. So we shouldn't have any issues with tonight's videos. And yeah, I wanted to, I should have started off the video letting you guys know that last week was a complete kerfuffle on my part. I had actually used ChatGPT to find different movies, and I selected that one. And when I looked at it, you'll see it's actually a free movie here on YouTube that you can watch. And I was like, okay, so it's here on YouTube. It's free. I'm going to be doing commentary over top of it so that there's educational value to it, as well as entertainment value to it. But couldn't use it. So again, if you did tune in last week and you were all excited to see the gospel according to Andre Leon Talley, and I was starting off Black Business Month, but we have to move on. Okay, so let me go ahead and go back to sharing screen because I do want you guys to see, and I left it up specifically so that you guys could see that I'm not just saying that. That you can see right here, the gospel according to Andre is free with ads. Is that what it says? I need my glasses. Does it say free with ads? Yes. Yes, free with ads. So, I thought it would be all right. And that's the other thing, you guys. I decided that I was no longer going to be paying for ad free YouTube. It's starting to get a little pricey coming out of my budget every month. So, as we watch these, they may have some ads, but we'll skip through it or whatever. So, the movies that we're going to cover tonight, I can go ahead and remove the gospel because I've already seen it. If you haven't seen it, again, it's free here on YouTube, so you can watch it. And next week, I'm going to be going back to these 100 years of fashions because there's some really good ones in here. So we're going to do another collection of that next Saturday. So make sure that you subscribe, hit that notification bell. It's always Saturday nights, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the other movies that we're going to watch is The Insane Rise and Downfall of Michael Kors and The Final Downfall of Michael Kors. So this takes so long, you guys, especially because I have so many things in there. But you know what? This is the last one. I'm not going to do the other one. But as you can see, they're not very long. What is this one, like 13 minutes? I think the other one's like 8 minutes or so. Just enough time for us to get our skincare routine done and get ready for our Saturday evening. See, that one's only 8 minutes. So, all right, you guys, enough talking. I think that what I've been going about almost 7 minutes now. I usually like to stall time a little bit just to give people time to come in because I don't want to start the movie and people are like, oh, I missed the beginning. So, I'm just going to wait like another minute or two. And as I'm doing that, I'm actually going to pull up the video. I should get my iPad as well. But I'm going to pull it up on another screen so that if it does go down, I will know immediately. And if it does, you guys, that's going to end Fashion Movie Night. I'm not going to keep getting into trouble because that will cause me to get a strike on my channel if this doesn't work out. So, all right, I'm just pulling up the video and I'm going to grab my iPad. I'll be right back. Also, I turned on my air conditioner because with the lights, this room can get rather hot. So I want to make sure that I don't overheat in here. And I always have my trusty neck fan, so should be good to go. All right, here we go. Okay, all right. So we've got it up on two screens. Also, it helps me if anybody leaves a comment. I can respond to it right away because then I actually have it up on my iPad. Okay. All right. This is amazing. Okay. Now, here we go. We're going to start with the story of Michael Kors because naturally we want to know the history. And as I said, today is his birthday, which is the whole purpose of me doing this. I was actually going to do the 100 Years of Fashion. And then I was like, wait a minute. Michael Kors' birthday is actually on my live stream night. So why are we not covering that? So that's why we are going to cover him tonight. I'm actually going to also get rid of this banner because it's so big and you can't size it, which is kind of frustrating. So we are going to start off with the history of Michael Kors. You need to know where he began, the history of the icon. You know what I mean? You need to know his beginnings, which were not so humble, but you do need to know where it all began, how he decided to create, and why he became who he became, one of the greatest fashion designers of our generation. All right, here we go. Again, I'm gonna skip through the commercials when I can, you guys. Sorry.
We all know that bags often
Yikes.
symbolizes one's status in life, particularly name brand bags. The last thing wealthy individuals would do is carry a bag that has no name in it, especially those who value fame and luxury.
Yikes.
That is what the brand Michael Kors offers, a bag that brings out the best in you. And by the best, means luxurious, high quality, and aesthetically pleasing. In this video, let's look into the story that embedded in every stitch carved in every bag Michael Kors produces. Who is the man behind this massive success? We'll find out about more of that later, but first, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe to this YouTube channel to stay updated on the latest in the luxury world.
I will make sure
At
that
Luxury
I
Mindset,
link
we bring you
the
all
videos
luxurious
in the
information,
description box
ranging
so
from
that you can
items,
show the creator
cars,
some
houses,
love.
places, and even people who bathe in luxury.
So this is
Not only
exciting.
that, but we also give you pretty much the amount you would need to purchase any of these luxurious stuff. So if you're interested in the rich, becoming rich, or even dreaming of lying on a mattress of gold or dollar bills, click the notification bell to keep yourself updated on this channel.
Okay.
Michael Kors, one of the most consistent and successful figures in the fashion industry, has been in the business for nearly 4 decades. Growing up in Merrick, Long Island, Michael Kors was surrounded by a family that was passionate about fashion. His grandfather, who was in the textile industry, played a significant role in shaping Kors's early fashion education.
This is why I said
At a
his
young
beginnings
age,
weren't
Kors
so
remembers
humble.
his grandfather teaching him
His
practical
family had
fashion
money.
tricks, like packing for a business trip and ensuring that a jacket had a button-out lining. His strong connection to the world of fashion since his childhood is evident. Kors quickly found himself working at Loders, a trendy boutique in New York City, where he had the opportunity to assist notable figures like Jackie Kennedy and Goldie Hawn, helping them with their fashion needs. Enrolling at Fashion Institute of Technology in Manhattan, Kors honed his skills and made important connections in the industry. Although he now views his Long Island upbringing with fondness and optimism, it wasn't always easy for him. He felt the urge to break free from the constraints of his surroundings and pursue his passion for fashion. In his fall collection, Kors drew inspiration from that same period of his childhood. He explains that the era reminds him of the current monument, its chaotic nature, and the overwhelming challenges people face. This nostalgia for a time when people exhibited strength and style in the face of adversity
Love him.
influenced his design choices. Despite the difficulties, Kors believes that people looked more powerful and confident in the streets back then. Kors describes working in a retail setting, particularly with a sophisticated clientele, as 1,000 times more challenging than school days. One of his most memorable moments was a successful trunk show where he invited all the women who shopped at Loders and informed them that he was leaving to start his fashion line. They came to the show, and every item in the
This show
store
was
was essentially sold out, leaving the racks empty. It was a frenzy similar to a swarm of insects. Shortly after, a review in New York Magazine praised Kors's work with a snippet written by none other than Anna Wintour, stating that the 22-year-old Michael Kors believed fashion should be transformative rather than progressive. The article highlighted his intention to keep his collection small and interchangeable, focusing on pared-down luxury. During a fitting in his office, Kors is struck by the sight of a wide collar, which sparks an idea. He suggests having the fashion show at Leonard's Palazzo, a well-known venue on Long Island that holds significance in his personal history. He reminisces about the grandeur of Leonard's Palazzo, envisioning models descending the steps with a chandelier and even proposing a dramatic touch with a chopped liver swan. The connection to his childhood and personal experiences comes to the forefront as he plans for the fashion show, incorporating elements that hold meaning to him. With a unique talent for blending luxury and accessibility, he has established a global empire. However, In the light of the disruptive impact of the internet on the business, the question arises, how will he move forward? Kors, in his characteristic fashion, answers that he will go all out and do
He
everything
always,
he can.
always,
Always
produces every decade.
In his office overlooking
40
Bryant Park
years.
and the bustling center of Manhattan, Kors emphasizes his terrible FOMO, being constantly in motion, keeping a finger on the pulse, and immersing himself in such experiences have been the lifeblood that has sustained Michael Kors, both as an individual and as a brand over the years.
Okay,
It has
the
allowed
audio
him to
got weird.
transition to becoming
Weird
the
there.
beloved designer friend of Claudia, Christy, and Naomi, to becoming the confidant of Gigi, Bella, and Kendall, without it seeming like 3 decades have passed. His
I mean,
ability to
look at
influence brands
every
with talent
piece,
like
every
Nicki
piece,
and Nicki
every
Minaj
piece.
has solidified his status as one of the quintessential American designers.
Well,
It has also enabled him to grow the
the
company
bags,
to
the
help
shoes,
build
the
as
dresses,
Capri
the
Holdings
coats,
into
the
a $4 billion empire in terms of market capitalization. A significant addition to the Michael Kors brand portfolio includes not only the 3 brands that bear variations of his name, but also, more recently, Jimmy Choo and Versace. According to insiders, these 2 acquisitions signify the company's ambition to become the next major luxury conglomerate akin to France's influential LVMH, Moet Hennessy, Louis Vuitton. The debate over whether this expansion is excessive for a luxury brand sparked a discussion on Twitter last summer when a user named Woodwolf posted a picture of his tattooed arm adorned with a Michael Kors bag, the Manhattan medium contrast trim leather satchel, priced at $358. Sentiments on the post revolved around Michael Kors devaluing that everyone wears it now. Kors then
The audio is not very good here.
The comparison is way too absurd, as if the low price equates to free of charge. He encourages people to slow it down a bit and reconsider. Kors, being a seasoned fashion expert, notices how the industry swings between extremes, from seriousness to excess and back again. He compares it to a cycle of indulgence and purging, like having a big, fancy meal one night and then feeling bloated and regretful the next day. Over the years, Kors has maintained a consistent perspective. According to his friends, even becoming a millionaire didn't change his character much. Inez Van Lamsweerd says, he has always been the same. Kors hasn't slowed down either. Nate Hudson, whose mother was a client of Lothers, describes Kors as someone who brings radiance and energy into the room. As Kors's brand gained worldwide recognition, his popularity on the show helped increase his presence in the United States. Influential figures like Michelle Obama started wearing Michael Kors in official portraits, and even Nicki Minaj mentioned him in her lyrics. Kors's undeniable success is a true testimony of his hard work, dedication, and perseverance. What do you think of Kors and his brand? Share your thoughts in the comments. And also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click the notification bell to stay updated with the latest in the luxury world. Only here at Luxury Mindset.
Okay. Oh shoot. I clicked on that and didn't
Why is
mean to.
Amazon paying me $63,000
Apologies.
a month? Well, I didn't make this kind of money
So,
selling yoga mats and toasters.
that
and
wasn't quite the history I was hoping for. Okay, quiet. Sorry. All right. I'm sorry. I was expecting that to be way more in depth when you're talking about the story of Michael Kors, but hopefully the other videos will give us a bit more, because that was one very difficult to hear. And the volume was all the way up, and also it skimmed over a lot of like the history of the brand and how he started the brand. So like I always tell you guys, I don't watch these movies in advance. I like to have a genuine reaction. Like the Life of Andre Leon Talley, I had actually seen that, but most of the videos that I put in my watch later list, I don't watch them beforehand. So, that being said, yeah, that was a little disappointing. So let's move on to the insane rise and downfall. I feel like I want to search for another movie, but we'll see what kind of time we've got, you guys.
Versace, a move intended to elevate
Okay.
its status. But
As you can see, that was like 13 seconds.
There's no set rule. The minute you think there's a
Is it me? Like the volume is all the way up.
what happens when a luxury fashion giant, once revered, slips
Okay, apologies.
I think so.
We're gonna start it from the beginning. I don't want you to miss anything as I was talking through it. So, the insane rise and downfall of Michael Kors. Then I'm gonna give you my opinions on that statement.
I think that the one thing that to remember about fashion, there's no set rule. The minute you think there's a set
Maybe it's my
rule,
volume.
what happens when a luxury fashion giant, once revered, slips into the ordinary world of mediocrity? Michael Kors, a brand that once reigned supreme in the world of accessible luxury, was admired for its chic designs and celebrity endorsements. Yet, in a stunning reversal of fortune, Michael Kors faced a public backlash so severe that it sparked debates about the very essence of luxury. The pivotal moment came in 2018 with the brand's $2.12 billion acquisition of Versace, a move intended to elevate its status, but instead led to cries of desecration from loyal Versace fans. Critics disparaged Michael Kors as the tackiest man alive, and the brand became a target for ridicule, with its products derided as fit only for duty-free shops at the airport. But before we dive into what really happened to the icon Michael Kors, let's rewind and take a look at his early beginnings. Michael Kors' journey into the world of high fashion is a story of ambition, vision, and the quintessential American dream. Born Carl Anderson Jr. in 1959 in Long Island, New York, Michael Kors was exposed to the fashion industry from a young age through his mother, a former model. From the tender age of 5, when most children were content with simple games, Michael Kors was already stepping into a destiny that would weave his name into the fabric of luxury fashion. It began with a simple yet profound change when his mother remarried. Along with a new father came a new name for him, Michael Kors. This name would soon adorn labels on plush boutiques and glossy magazine covers across the globe. From a young age, Kors was fascinated by fashion and design. His interest in fashion
might get a little bit
manifested
more.
early as he observed his mother's clothing and style. His mother's influence was significant. She had a keen eye for style and often gave young Michael insights into the fashion world. This early education in style and aesthetics laid the foundational understanding of fashion that Kors would build his career upon.
I was going to say his
As a
mother was
teenager,
very
He began
influential in
designing
his career.
clothes
and
and
life.
selling them from his parents' basement, which he had converted into a small boutique. This entrepreneurial spirit was more than just a hobby. It was the laying of a foundation for a global brand. His keen eye for design and innate understanding of fabric and form were evident even in these early creations, which combined a youthful
I know that girl didn't even
enthusiasm
cover
with a
Project
sophisticated
Runway.
edge. In 1977,
That wasn't a good
Michael
video.
Kors enrolled at the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City, but his stay there was brief. After just 9 months, he dropped out to take a job at a French boutique across from Bergdorf Goodman on Fifth Avenue. This position became his real education, where he gained first-hand experience in the fashion industry, from sales to design. Working at the boutique, Kors had the opportunity to interact directly with customers, learning about their preferences, lifestyles, and what they looked for in high-end fashion. Michael Kors's big break came in 1981. Don Mello, the fashion director at Bergdorf Goodman, discovered him while he was setting up a window display at the boutique. Impressed by his unique sense of style, Mello invited him to show his collection to Bergdorf Goodman's buyers. This opportunity was the launchpad for his career. At age 22, Kors debuted his Michael Kors women's label at Bergdorf Goodman.
quickly becoming a hit among the chic affluent women of New York City. His early collections were marked by a luxurious simplicity that appealed to a diverse audience. Kors had a knack for combining the elegance of high fashion with the comfort of sportswear, a blend that was both innovative and highly marketable. His designs were characterized by clean lines, practical fabrics, and a neutral palette punctuated with pops of color, reflecting his philosophy that clothes should be both beautiful and wearable. Buoyed by his success at Bergdorf Goodman, Kors expanded his distribution to other high-end retailers, including Saks Fifth Avenue and Neiman Marcus. Throughout the 1980s, as his reputation grew, so did his business. Michael Kors became known for his luxurious take
I
on
discovered
American
Michael Kors
sportswear
in the late
staples,
80s.
cashmere knitwear, sequined skirts, and elegantly tailored trousers that were as at home in the office as they were at a weekend getaway.
But of
As
course,
his
I couldn't
brand
afford that
developed,
back then.
Kors maintained a focus on what he called the jet set lifestyle. Clothes for the modern woman who valued both style and comfort, who could afford luxury but wore it in a laid-back way. This concept resonated deeply in the 1980s, a decade characterized by its opulence
Mm-hmm.
and a burgeoning appreciation for accessible
I can't
luxury.
stop eating this trail
The
mix
early
I made.
success of Michael Kors in upscale department stores laid a robust foundation for expansion. By the mid-1990s, the brand began to diversify its offerings, launching menswear, accessories, and even a full-fledged perfume line. Each new venture was met with enthusiasm, broadening the brand's appeal and cementing Kors's reputation as not just a clothing designer, but a full-spectrum lifestyle curator. The strategic expansion included opening flagship stores in key international cities, such as New York, Paris, and London. These flagships were not just retail spaces, but embodiments of the Michael Kors lifestyle: elegant, modern, and impossibly chic. The stores offered customers a holistic experience of the brand, from its signature fragrances wafting through the air to its luxuriously appointed decor, which mirrored the refined simplicity of Kors designs. Michael Kors' affiliation with celebrities
I'll tell you
played a
about
crucial
my
role in the brand's narrative
Michael
during
Kors
its peak years.
trip
The
in
designer's
Paris.
clothes were a
Was
staple on
amazing.
red carpets and in the personal wardrobes of Hollywood's elite. Kors understood the power of celebrity influence long before social media became a cornerstone of marketing strategy. His designs were regularly featured on influential figures such as Jennifer Lopez, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Catherine Zeta-Jones, helping the brand garner attention beyond the traditional fashion consumer base. One pivotal moment was when First Lady Michelle Obama wore a Michael Kors dress for her first official portrait. This endorsement was monumental, projecting the brand into the political sphere and solidifying its status as a choice for powerful, influential women. The simplicity and elegance of Kors designs resonated with a clientele that valued both appearance and practicality, reinforcing the brand's image as a purveyor of refined, accessible luxury. Michael Kors' persona also significantly contributed to the brand's allure. His charismatic and personable nature made him a favorite among fashion journalists and TV audiences alike. In 2004, Kors began appearing as a judge on the hit television show Project Runway.
This girl is covering
His
everything.
witty, insightful commentary not only endeared him to viewers, but also provided the brand with weekly primetime exposure. This media presence was instrumental in transforming Michael Kors from a fashion label into a household name, with Kors's personality and expertise
I need
becoming
to go
as
back
much
and
a
watch
part
some
of
of
the
those.
brand's
Those were
identity
classics.
as its products. As the brand grew, Michael Kors launched the Michael Kors lines, which targeted a broader market with more affordable price points. These lines included everything from apparel to accessories, such as the wildly popular Michael Kors handbags that became a
Okay.
symbol of luxury
Put it
for the everyday
away.
woman. This move, while lucrative, began to stir debates about the dilution of exclusivity, a theme that would grow more pronounced as the brand's ubiquitous presence expanded. As Michael Kors approached the new millennium, its expansive strategy began to show signs of a double-edged nature. The very
We're still
elements that
streaming,
had
y'all.
catalyzed its explosive growth, broad accessibility and aggressive expansion started to undermine its luxury positioning in the market. Yet, at what point did this aggressive growth start to backfire? It began with a vision to democratize luxury. Michael Kors products were once exclusive,
Oh boy. Skipping a one again.
coveted by the fashion forward. However, the strategy shifted dramatically as the brand opted for mass market appeal, expanding aggressively into outlets and discount stores worldwide. Michael Kors' strategy of opening outlets in numerous locations across the globe led to a rapid increase in brand visibility and accessibility. However, this widespread availability began to saturate the market. As the products became more accessible, they lost a degree of their allure among the fashion elite. The brand's signature items,
Everyone
particularly the
hated
handbags,
this
were no
collection.
longer
This was only
rare
like
treasures,
2 years
but common
ago.
sights in shopping malls and
Everyone
airports
hated
around
that
the world.
collection. I
This
thought it was
ubiquity
nice.
diluted its exclusive
It wasn't
allure,
like
as
mind-blowing.
exclusivity is a cornerstone of high-end fashion prestige, leading critics to question, can true luxury be ubiquitous? The backlash was swift and severe. Roberto Cavalli once accused Michael Kors of copying designs, a sentiment echoed across the fashion industry, tarnishing the brand's image further. Moreover, the brand's omnipresent MK logo began to symbolize not luxury, but a ubiquitous presence that bordered on commonplace. Furthermore, heavy discounts and frequent sales tarnished the brand's premium image. As consumers could purchase Michael Kors products at significantly reduced prices, the allure of owning a luxury item significantly diminished. Fashion analyst Robin Lewis labeled this approach as the kiss of death for trendy fashion brands, highlighting the peril of losing exclusivity in the luxury market. In a bold move that was meant to catapult Michael Kors into the realms of a luxury conglomerate, the brand acquired Versace for $2.12 billion in 2018.
Whoa.
This decision was
I had
met
no
with
idea
public
about that.
outcry. Loyal Versace fans and critics alike lambasted Michael Kors for potentially diluting the iconic Italian brand's luxurious allure. Social media and fashion columns were abuzz with fears of Versace being Korsified, a term used derisively to signify a downgrade in brand prestige. The acquisitions raised questions. Can Michael Kors maintain the unique identities of these high-profile brands without imposing its over-commercialized shadow? Consumer skepticism was palpable, with many expressing their disdain and predicting a decline in the quality and uniqueness
Well,
of the newly
I
acquired
mean,
brand.
that was, what,
Where is
7
Michael
years
Kors
ago?
now? As of
Versace,
2024,
Donatella is still
Michael
very
Kors
much
has initiated
involved.
several strategies to reclaim its position in the luxury sector. The brand has reduced its presence in outlet malls and limited its sales discounts, striving to restore its image as a premium luxury brand. However, the road to redemption is fraught with challenges. The fashion community remains skeptical. Can Michael Kors reverse the tide of overexposure and regain its lost prestige? Amidst this strategic pivot, Kors unveiled a poignant fall collection, drawing inspiration from his grandmother's 1930s wedding dress. This latest offering combines timeless elegance with contemporary style, featuring classic tailoring alongside innovative pieces like sequined hoodies, reflecting Kors' mastery of blending tradition with modern fashion needs. The future of Michael Kors hangs in the balance, with industry insiders watching closely. The brand's ability to navigate its identity crisis and realign itself with the true tenets of luxury will be critical. As it stands, Michael Kors continues to grapple with the dual forces of innovation and tradition, attempting to find a middle ground that satisfies both its heritage and its contemporary audience.
With Andre.
The saga of Michael Kors is not just a story of rise and fall, but an ongoing battle to redefine itself in a market that values authenticity and exclusivity above all. Will the brand manage to revive its legacy, or has the democratization of luxury come at too high a cost? What are your thoughts on the journey of Michael Kors? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Till next time.
All right, you guys. Annoying. All right, hang on. Nope, we're not doing that. Okay, so that was a way better explanation of Michael Kors' history, the rise of his career, where it all began, how it all started, and his progression throughout his career. So that was really a good one. All right, let's see how we're doing on time. All right, we're only 35 minutes in, so we're doing pretty good. I just wanted to go ahead and give my opinion on Michael Kors, um, how I started, or, like my history of Michael Kors. How about that? And I haven't done any skincare at all, you guys, but that's not important. Um, I discovered Michael Kors in the late 80s, early 90s when he was really leaning in hard to that high end, over the top 80s excess style. That's what the 80s were. If you were born around that time or know what I'm talking about, you were around in the 80s, you will know everything was bigger hair, bigger shoulder pads, skinny with pencil skirts, high crazy heel. I mean, everything was over the top, furs and hats, and everything was extra. That's what the 80s were, and he was leaning in hard into that. So lots of, you know, fur collar trench coats, and lots of, Yves Saint Laurent style suits, and it was everything. And I noticed him immediately. I was like, oh my gosh, this is everything that I want in a brand. So I've been following him ever since then. And I have seen his career throughout those years. When I found out, when Project Runway said that Michael Kors was going to be on, I was like, in. I was like, I don't even know what the show is about, but Michael Kors is on it. I'm in. And I have a lot of Michael Kors items in my collection, in my wardrobe, and I personally think that, yes, oversaturation can hurt the brand, but at the same time, making it accessible to the masses, being more mid luxury than like full on luxury, is two different things. And here's how you, if you don't know, may want to equate this. So, say for example, um, you think about Michael Kors, but then you think about like a house like Balmain, or like a French couturier house. Like that's luxury. You know what I mean? That's on another level luxury. And then a lot of the Parisian houses, a lot of the Italian houses, that have been around forever. Chanel. Um, why are they all escaping me at the moment? Chanel, Dior, Balenciaga, Balmain, all those houses that have been around forever. Um, they have also changed with the times and all those good fun things. And so those houses are luxury. Michael Kors, to me, he does have that level of luxury, but he does have a more affordable brand. For example, Prada has Miu Miu. Now, Miu Miu is still a little pricey, but it's sort of like a sister brand to the house that is more affordable to some, if they can't afford Prada, but still want Miuccia Prada's designs. And she actually runs that house on her own. Prada, she runs with Ralph Simmons. Anyway, neither here nor there. My point is those are luxury houses. And Michael Kors does have that luxury element, but it is way more affordable. And I love the fact that he has, um, yeah, that price point that is affordable to many. Not everyone, affordable to many. So if it's in your budget, you budget for it, you can get it too. um, Now, before we finish off to the last movie, I've been going like 5 minutes now, so I just want to tell you my experience when I went to Paris. I took my son. It was actually my birthday gift to myself for my 50th birthday. We decided to go to Paris. If you want to see videos on it, they're all on my channel. Just search Paris on my channel and you'll see all the videos. It was an amazing experience. And one of the things that we wanted to do was go to all these particular restaurants. So we went to this falafel house in oh my gosh, what I I can't believe that I'm gonna forget this. It was in the Marais. Am I saying that right? I feel like I'm saying that wrong. In the Marais. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Anyway, in La Marais. Anyway, we went to this falafel house and it's like on this weird little alley street, and there's like a school nearby. And we were sitting there eating. I was like, "There's a Michael Kors store right there. We've got to go in." So after we finished eating, my son and I finished eating our falafel, we went into the Michael Kors store and had one of the most amazing experiences. Everyone was so nice, especially we were American, we're black, we speak very little French. They were so nice. And I went in that day not realizing how many Michael Kors pieces I was actually wearing. It kind of was blowing my mind. I was like, oh my God, because I had my Michael Kors tote bag because it carries the world. And I also had this Michael Kors wallet, and I also had on Michael Kors sandals. And I was like, I didn't even think about it when we went into the store, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen these. They don't sell these here. Your wallet is so cute. We don't sell that here." And it was so incredible. We had such a great experience, and I ended up buying a bag that is one of my hands down favorite bags. Um, it's too difficult for me to go get it at the moment, but it is hands down one of my all-time favorite bags. It's like black leather, square flap over with all these studs on it. Not studs, chains on it. So amazing. Oh, hang on, guys. Yeah. Okay. But I'm glad you said that because I did just drink a lot of water, but I'll be all right. No, you're fine, Dad. It's fine. Okay, sorry, little interrupt. My dad had to ask me a question. So, but the bag is so incredible. I absolutely love it, and yeah, I feel like if I had time, I could just really go get it. To be honest with you, but we're gonna move on to the next movie. I just wanted to share that experience with you to let you guys know that, I've always had good experiences with Michael Kors. I am on their I used to be on their mailing list. I don't know if I am anymore, but I used to get sale notifications all the time, and I would check them out and see like, ooh, 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 and get little discounts on stuff. Love, love, love Michael Kors. So, as far as him having a fall in his career, I don't really believe that. I don't know if he is still if he still owns Versace. I know Donatella is still very much in the picture of the Versace house, so that has not changed. And listen, Fashion Month is starting in what, like 6 weeks or so. So all the collections, the New York collections, will be out. Michael Kors is going to show, and I can't wait to see it. I still cover his collections. And speaking of which, I asked you guys to subscribe, but if you didn't know, I also do reaction videos to the runway shows for Fashion Month. I cover New York, London, and Paris. Lots of different collections that I cover. I try to do them they're pretty lengthy. You guys, I mean, I try to cover a lot because there's so many collections to cover. I am going to try to cut it down a little bit this year, maybe only do 90 minutes instead of 2 hours, but we shall see. Again, subscribe so that you will know. All right, let's get on to this third and final video. Is the final downfall of Michael Kors. First of all, I did want to take a peek at when that other video came out. We can check it later. All right, here we go. Now this
Don't
one
mix
came
pink
out
salt with lemon and 2
8
other
months
ingredients
ago.
if you don't want to donate your entire
Okay.
wardrobe in less than a week. Don't believe.
Michael Kors is standing at a crossroads.
Oh
The
shoot,
failed
I'm not
$8.5
sharing.
billion tapestry
Sorry. It might be helpful to share. And you guys, I'm sorry, I did not do any skincare at all tonight or hair care. But this video is about 15 minutes long, so I might be able to get some skincare in there. All right, here we go. Can you see it? All right, is it full screen? Here we go.
Michael Kors is standing at a crossroads.
All right.
With the failed $8.5 billion tapestry merger, declining sales, and a growing identity crisis, the once iconic brand is facing its biggest challenge yet. Can Michael Kors reinvent itself and reclaim its place in the luxury market? Or are we witnessing the final chapter of its story? To understand how Michael
say.
Kors reached this critical moment,
In fashion,
check out our first
one day
video on
you're
Michael
in,
Kors,
the
where we
next day
explore
you're
the
out.
brand's meteoric rise
Right?
and shocking fall.
And he was on that show,
Today,
so he would
We're
know.
focusing on the present and the future. What does survival look like for Michael Kors in a rapidly shifting market? Let's talk about the merger that could have changed
I
everything
did my skincare earlier and I'm not
Fallout.
wearing any makeup, so
when it didn't. In
I
2023,
didn't really need
Capri
to
Holdings,
do a whole
Michael Kors' parent company,
mega cleanse.
was set to be acquired by Tapestry, the owner of Coach and Kate Spade, in an $8.5 billion deal. The goal? To create an American luxury powerhouse capable of going head-to-head with European titans like LVMH. On paper, it sounded like a dream
That
pairing.
sounds great.
For Michael Kors, this could have been the ultimate redemption arc, a chance to regain its footing with the support of a larger conglomerate. But here's the thing,
Okay.
not all dreams come true in fashion.
All right. So I didn't know
US Federal
anything
Trade
about this.
Commission wasn't having it.
Oh.
They claimed the merger would reduce competition in the affordable luxury market, especially for handbags,
Oh.
a category where both Michael Kors and Coach are major players.
Yeah, that's
By
true.
the end of 2024, the FTC had blocked the deal,
Oh man,
leaving Capri Holdings and Michael Kors out in the cold.
that would have been awesome.
The timing couldn't have been worse
sucks.
for Michael Kors. The brand had already been struggling with what industry insiders call brand fatigue.
I'm telling you,
You know the feeling,
that
when a brand that used to feel aspirational
Spring Summer
now
collection a
feels
few years
overdone.
ago.
Once a go-to for
People
the
were
chic
not
jet
happy.
set crowd, Kors became synonymous with airport duty-free shops and outlet malls. And let's not forget the courtroom bombshell. Executives admitted that the brand was practically addicted to discounting. Here's what that means
I
in plain
mean,
terms. Kors had been leaning
They
too
turned out a
heavily
lot
on
of
sales and
product.
markdowns
Gotta do
to
something with it.
drive revenue. Sure, it worked for a while, but in the long run, constantly slashing prices does something to a brand's image. It erodes the exclusivity that makes luxury feel, well,
Not sure.
luxurious. And once that's gone, it's hard to get it back. Before we jump into the hard numbers, let's shortly remember what made the brand a household name in the first place. In the 2000s, the brand was a beacon of accessible luxury, blending style and practicality in a way few others could. Signature pieces
These
like
are the pieces I'm talking about, like that.
tote became
Like with the
instant classics,
fur
effortlessly
collars.
combining elegance with functionality.
Yeah.
These weren't just accessories. They were cultural touchstones, spotted on red carpets and in the hands of trendsetters everywhere. Michael Kors didn't just sell products, it sold a dream. From its impeccably tailored ready-to-wear collections to the oversized watches that dominated the wrist game, the brand epitomized jet-set sophistication. I design for people who are always on the move, but want to look incredible doing it, Kors once.
I just wanted to pause really quick on that statement. Oh shit! Now I forgot the statement. Um, yeah, she talked about it being luxurious and like, oh, that's what I have to say is in those times in the 90s and stuff like that when I was in college, I couldn't afford Michael Kors. I just looked at it as aspirational, something I knew I could never attain. And then as I got older and he did have prices that were affordable, especially when you put them on a discount, that's how a lot of us were able to obtain them. And I don't really see any problem with that. I also want to say, like, that whole deal with Kate Spade and Coach and Michael Kors, what a powerhouse that would have been. That's a shame that that did not go through. I wonder why they blocked that. I mean, I get what they're saying, but I don't know. I guess if LVMH can do it, why couldn't they? But I don't know. That just seems a shame. All right, I'm gonna back it up a little bit. Um, okay.
Game. The brand epitomized jet-set sophistication. I design for people who are always on the move, but want to look incredible doing it, Kors once said.
Yeah.
It was a reflection of a time when luxury was becoming more accessible, and Michael Kors was leading the charge. But those glory days feel like a distant memory now. The numbers tell a starkly different.
Imagine being able to build anything
Okay.
just by thinking
But
about it.
you know what?
Base
Here's what I'm
44,
thinking,
a
right?
complete AI creation platform.
Story.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Just as a side note, in my opinion, I think that, people today in 2025, they don't want these exorbitant price tags for a handbag. And people aren't willing to pay that now, especially like Gen Z and stuff like that. They have a whole different mindset of how they spend their money. And, sometimes luxury goods is not what they're spending their money on. So I think that having a price point that will sell, because that's what you want at the end of the day. You need to sell product. And he's doing that. And I think that he will continue to do that and have price points that are not so far out of reach that he's pricing himself out of selling. you know, a lot of people are flexing on social media. These influencers are flexing on social media about their luxury goods and this, that, and the other thing, but that's not the average everyday person. The average everyday shopper is not out there spending like that. So having an affordable price point is going to sell his product. Enough of my rant. Let's move on.
In 2024, Michael Kors reported a 16% drop in global revenue,
Okay.
with an eye-popping 43% plunge in China.
Again.
Let that sink in. China, the market that practically breathes life into luxury brands, is turning its back on Kors. One major factor is the rise of local luxury and culturally resonant brands like Li Ning.
Okay.
These homegrown names dominate the fashion landscape by celebrating Chinese heritage and tapping into national pride, something Michael Kors has struggled to achieve. Meanwhile, fast fashion giants like Shein further crowd the market, offering trend-driven designs at prices that make luxury brands less competitive for everyday shoppers. Adding to the challenge is China's economic slowdown. Rising unemployment rates and cautious consumer spending post-pandemic have shifted buying behavior.
That's what I'm saying.
Many
y'all.
are opting for secondhand luxury, which offers high-end fashion at lower prices.
That's what I'm saying.
This shift
See?
cuts directly into Michael Kors' reliance on full-price sales. Finally, brand perception plays a huge role. Overexposure through discounting and outlet stores has dulled Kors' luxury appeal in China. In contrast, competitors like Coach have successfully rebranded to emphasize premium positioning, making their products aspirational again.
Yeah.
Michael Kors has yet to make comparable strides.
We'll see.
To turn things around, Michael Kors will need to embrace cultural relevance and exclusivity. Limited edition collections inspired by Chinese heritage, partnerships with local designers, and region-specific marketing campaigns
But
could
he's,
help it rebuild its status.
I mean, he is an
Without bold
American
moves,
designer.
The brand risks losing one of the most lucrative luxury markets in the world. And now, without Tapestry to lean on, Capri Holdings is on its own to fix things. So here we are. In 2024, Michael Kors isn't the shiny, glamorous brand you might remember from its heyday. Instead, it's a company in damage control mode, trying to figure out how to stay relevant in a world that has changed dramatically. Can Michael Kors break out of its rut and make us fall in love again? Or is this the beginning of the end? It's the bigger story behind them. Michael Kors is dealing with what many in the industry call an identity crisis. Is it luxury? Is it mass market? These days, it feels like Kors is trying to be everything to everyone. And in doing so, it's lost the very thing that made it special.
I'm telling you, people hated this
You can
collection.
see this playing out in how the brand is perceived. What once felt like a badge of chic, jet set cool now feels, dare I say, overexposed. The MK logo that was once a must-have now pops up everywhere, from outlet malls to deep discount retailers. And while that's great for short-term visibility, it's disastrous for a brand that's supposed to be about exclusivity and status. And it's not just customers who've moved on. Competitors have stepped up their game. Coach, for instance, was in a similar position not too long ago, but managed to pull off one of the most impressive rebrands in recent fashion history. By targeting younger consumers with fresh designs and clever marketing, they've managed to make themselves cool again. For example, they have successfully reinvented itself by leaning into thoughtful storytelling and trend-driven campaigns. Its viral success with the Tabby bag on TikTok brought the brand back into the spotlight, connecting with younger consumers and redefining what accessible luxury can look like. Meanwhile,
Okay, guys, let's talk about
Now, I
collagen
actually
and heart function.
used to work
So if you're
for
new
Coach.
here, you don't know.
So
Tory Burch has leaned into timeless designs with modern updates, securing loyalty among both established and new audiences. These targeted efforts demonstrate that even struggling brands can evolve and reclaim their market position, something Michael Kors must address. Consumers today are prioritizing individuality and sustainability over recognizable logos and mass market designs. For younger generations, the appeal of niche, ethical brands outweighs traditional status symbols. Brands like Everlane and Veja, which emphasize sustainability and minimalism, are gaining traction in markets where Michael Kors once thrived. This shift puts accessible luxury brands like Kors in a difficult position, caught between their mass appeal roots and the growing demand for exclusivity and values-driven fashion. Internally, the brand seems to recognize that it's in trouble. Capri Holdings CEO John Idle has outlined a strategy to bring Michael Kors back to life, and it sounds ambitious. The plan includes rebalancing the product mix to focus on higher-end collections, cutting back on discounts, and revamping its marketing to tell a more compelling brand story. There's also talk of doubling down on department stores, a channel they pulled away from in recent years, to rebuild connections with their core customer base. But here's the thing. These aren't overnight fixes. Revamping a brand is hard work, and it takes time, sometimes years, to see real results. In the meantime, Kors is facing stiff competition from brands that have already figured out how to stay relevant in today's market. So, how do you fix a brand that's lost its way? That's the billion-dollar question Capri Holdings CEO John Idle is trying to answer for Michael Kors. And while the plan he's laid out sounds bold, it's also a bit of a gamble. Let's break it down. The first step in Idle's strategy is to restore balance to the product mix. Less emphasis on heavily discounted items and more focus on high-end collections that remind people why Michael Kors was once synonymous with luxury. It's about bringing back that sense of exclusivity, the feeling that owning a Kors piece is special, not something you could snag on clearance at the mall. Next up is marketing. Idle is putting significant investment into rebranding Michael Kors and rebuilding its image. The goal? To craft a story that feels aspirational again. Think campaigns that lean into the brand's roots of jet-set sophistication, but with a modern twist. Something that appeals to today's consumers without feeling outdated. But perhaps the most surprising move is the renewed focus on department stores. After pulling back from this channel in recent years, Capri Holdings is now looking to strengthen its partnerships with retailers like Nordstrom and Saks Fifth Avenue. Why? Because department stores are still a major touchpoint for customers who shop luxury, but aren't necessarily dropping 5 figures on a designer bag. Idle seems to believe that reconnecting with this audience is key to bringing Kors back into the spotlight. And then there's the tricky balance of affordability. Idle has hinted that Kors will also introduce more accessible price points to attract a broader customer base.
See,
But here's the challenge. How do you cater to everyday shoppers without diluting the brand even further? It's a tightrope act. And not every brand pulls it off. Here's the thing. Michael Kors isn't just fighting its own battles. It's up against a larger shift in the world of accessible luxury. The category itself is evolving, and not every brand is keeping up. Consumers today want something fresh. They're drawn to niche, sustainable brands that offer individuality,
I'm
not
gonna go
mass
run and
market
get that
logos
bag, y'all.
plastered everywhere.
before this
For a
ends.
brand like Michael Kors, which built its empire on accessibility and instant recognition, this shift presents a real problem. The old formula of mass appeal and bold branding doesn't work anymore, especially with younger generations. For Michael Kors, the challenge isn't just about fixing its image, it's about figuring out what it wants to be in this new world of fashion. Can it find a balance between affordability and exclusivity? If Michael Kors wasn't already juggling enough challenges, it's also fighting a battle on another front, counterfeiting. The brand has long been a target for knockoffs, and while imitation is often called the sincerest form of flattery, in the world of fashion, it's a costly problem. In recent years, Kors has ramped up its legal efforts to crack down on counterfeiters. A recent win involved blocking a Chinese company from registering a lookalike MK monogram in the European market. While victories like these help protect the brand's intellectual property, they also highlight a deeper issue. Counterfeit products often flood the market when a brand's designs become overexposed. And that's part of the image problem Kors is trying to fix. Counterfeit items dilute the exclusivity of a brand, making it harder to justify premium price tags when lookalikes are everywhere. It's a vicious cycle. Once a brand loses its cachet, it becomes an even bigger target for knockoffs, and the cycle repeats. So, where does Michael Kors stand now? It's no longer about staying visible. It's about staying desirable.
Okay.
The brand has the recognition and
I
the
desire it.
resources, but without a clear identity and strategy that resonates with today's consumers, those assets mean little. This is a defining moment. To survive, Michael Kors must go beyond surface-level changes and deliver something that feels genuinely aspirational again. It's a tough ask in a crowded and fast-moving market, but the tools are there. The real question is whether the brand can rise to the challenge, and how long it can afford to wait. What do you think about Michael Kors? Do you
I
think
love
they
it.
still have a chance at revival?
Yes,
Let us know in the
I
comments.
do. He's been
Thank
going
you
for
for
40
watching.
years, you guys.
Until next time.
I mean, if some of the biggest, if some of the biggest designers I mean, look, Giorgio Armani, 90s, still designing. So Michael Kors most definitely can make a comeback. That was really, really interesting, you guys. I had a really good time watching those. Like the first video, I'm sorry. That was pretty much a waste of our time. Because the other two videos covered everything so beautifully. And I just cleaned my hands because I wanted to show you guys the back. So it actually came in a box, but that box got destroyed, shipped to Belize. But here is the bag that it came in, and this is the bag. If you've seen any of my fashion videos, I'm sure you have seen this bag. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Look at this bag. Isn't that gorgeous? It says Michael Kors here. I'm sure you can see that. And it actually allows you to wear it like this or long ways like a crossbody. Is that not epic? Now the backside doesn't have chains, so that way it's not rubbing up against your clothes, but it does have a pocket back here. A nice big pocket, like the whole length of the bag. Magnetic closure there. Now, I'm telling you, when I saw this bag, I knew I had to have it. I was like, I don't even care the price. I'm like, I'm taking that bag with me. I was in the Paris store, and they were like, this is the last of this bag in all of Paris. You can't get it anywhere else. So I was like, okay. I didn't know if they were telling the truth or not. They already had a sale, so they didn't need to like lie to me about it. But whether it was true or not, I didn't care. I mean, look at the sparkle. Can you see the sparkle? Oh, okay. And so the clasp, oh, so cool, like studded like that. And then it opens up like that. And then on the inside, right here is Michael Kors' signature. It's like this silver plate etched in. Oh, I was like, I need it. And it's like two big, huge pockets and a zip pocket. The tab obviously says Michael Kors on it, but I loved that detail. I was like, oh my gosh. I don't care if 1,000 other people have this bag. I'm like, I have one. And I was just like, it's so epic. What other things can I tell you about it? There is like another zipper pocket. I stuff on my bags so they don't lose their shape. There is another zipper pocket in here as well. And yeah, it holds a ton of stuff in there. Now, the clasp is a little finicky. I do have to like actually put it in and then use the clasp to make sure it clasps all the way. But how gorgeous is this bag? And this is one of many of my Michael Kors bags. I have a crap ton of Michael Kors bags. So, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. And I'm actually just finishing. If you saw my video yesterday, I did a whole video for Hair Braiders Day using this Mielle hair oil. And it isn't keeping it as hydrated as I would like, so I'm just adding another layer to it. But that's going to do it for tonight, you guys. I'm just going to finish doing my night care routine and probably go watch some Project Runway, to be honest with you. I don't know if I'm going to find it here on YouTube or on Prime Video. Somewhere I'm going to go watch me some Michael Kors in Project Runway, especially the season with Christian Siriano. Love that. All right, you guys, I hope you all had an amazing night. This was a lot of fun. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell and join me next Saturday night for another 100 Years of Fashion Part 2. And until next time, stay fashionable. Bye. I hope I ended that all right. Oh, I should end it by saying, happy birthday, Michael Kors, and I have a new video dropping tomorrow morning, Sunday, August the 10th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So tune in for that. Because it's Vloggers Day, so I did a vlog. All right, you guys, have an amazing night. And I'll see you next time.